You ever meet someone and think, this is it, we just click, and then 2 weeks later, you don't even like how they text? That's chemistry talking, not compatibility. Today, we're breaking down the questions you should ask when dating, so you don't mistake butterflies for bonding. Because dating isn't hard, people are just asking the wrong questions. So for today's episodes and all future episodes, we're gonna break down the questions in different phases. Phase 1 is the first date. And the question you should ask is, so what kind of connection feels best to you? An instant spark or something that builds over time? Why this is a good question to ask on a first date is because if they chase the instant spark, does that mean they value more looks and appearance over actual true connection that sometimes takes a while to really build? Maybe not the first date or maybe not the second date, but maybe the third or fourth date, you kind of build that more natural connection. And the first couple dates is more lust, more attraction, more physical. I'm someone who likes the spark to naturally build over time. I definitely think on a first date, you should feel excited and you should feel like attracted to the person. I feel like the real true spark, the real moment that you're like, okay, I really feel like I'm into this person. I feel like that comes over time and really getting to know them and really having a better understanding. And I feel like that takes at least 3 to 4 dates to really have that honed in on as far as like, okay, this is really a real spark. I feel like the first date is really just like you guys like each other. There may be some deep chemistry, and I'm not saying you can't feel a spark, but I feel like that spark where it's like, okay, we really can continue to connect and continue to get to know each other. I feel like that comes after a few dates. Because I know for me, certain things can definitely turn me off really quickly, especially if it comes to like ideologies on life. Like, I'm not a religious person, but if I find out on a second or third date you're a super religious person, it's not gonna work. I don't want kids. If you want kids and that's on the third or fourth date, the spark's gonna go away because I know I don't want those things. So for me, I would need that true spark to build over time, but I don't think any way is wrong. I feel like you just have to make sure if that spark is genuine and not superficial, and I feel like a lot of people get caught up in the superficial and the lust and attraction the moment they meet someone the first time. Okay, so on to the next phase, which is a few dates in. And the question is, how do you tell the difference between liking someone and liking the attention? I feel like this is a great question to lead off from the last question because depending on the answer, you can really see how serious they are on really connecting with someone. Their answer really can determine their emotional awareness and their self-control because at the end of the day, if you care more about the attention than actually liking the person, then you're really kind of more on an ego trip than looking for a true connection. Also, it shows maturity. Yes, everybody wants attention, but at the end of the day, when it comes to liking someone and connecting with someone, I care more about our actual bond, how we connect, how we vibe, than the attention they offer me. There's a lot of people that I'm not into at all that would give me the attention, and I feel like that's where we're kind of losing the plot on like, are we looking for a serious relationship? And you don't want to be with someone that just wants the attention from you. You want to actually build a connection with them, and you want them to actually like you and be invested in you. And ultimately, you're looking more for alignment than somebody who just wants your attention. I feel like you want true connection at the end of the day. So I think this is a great question to really see what their maturity level is and how seriously they're really taking you, and if they're using you just to build their ego. Okay, so on to phase 3. This is the question you ask when you're in the developing a relationship phase. So the question is, when you start catching feelings, how do you show it? So things to pay attention to when they answer the question is, do they communicate openly or do they get defensive? If they open up and explain when they catch feelings and how they show it, that shows a level of vulnerability. That shows you really can connect with them and that they'll be open to communicating to you their feelings, their thoughts, all of the above. If they get defensive, it may show that they are not really open to being vulnerable with you, and that when it comes to their feelings, they won't share them, and you may have to do some mind reading to really get the core of what's going on or how they feel about something. Also, it's just great to know how your partner really shows up when they actually are interested in really feeling someone. If you have this insight, you'll have more awareness on where the relationship is going, if you feel like they're truly connecting with you, if you feel like they're truly vibing with you. I feel like this is really beneficial just for you to gain your own understanding, and honestly, just to know more about your partner. I think it's great to communicate these type of things. I feel like this is an aspect of kind of like how you show love. This is an aspect of how you show that you care. This is an aspect of how you show that you're interested. And I think to have a better understanding of the person you're dating just benefits you. And hey, some people pull back when they start catching feelings or they don't want to be vulnerable. So if they can express that to you so that you are aware of that, then you're better prepared to realize that. And when it starts happening, you can really ask the questions like, are you catching feelings? Are you nervous? Are you scared? Where I feel like if you don't know that, you may also start pulling back and it may be the end of your connection. I feel like these little nuggets can be truly beneficial when you're still in that developing phase and you're still getting to know each other. Okay, so this question you ask your partner when you guys are more in that long-term phase, you guys have moved past the developing stage and you guys are really building that serious relationship. When things get hard in a relationship, how do you like to handle it? Talk it through, take space, or both? This is a great question to ask because it predicts how they handle things under pressure. And this is so valuable, especially when you start having your first few arguments or your first disagreements. I think it's beneficial to know, like, do you need a minute? Or you want to talk it through? Do you want to go to bed angry? Do you want to go to bed with this resolved? I feel like there's so many ways that this is beneficial to both of you and understanding each other and being proactive on developing your conflict resolution strategy. Because you want to know, are they able to regulate their emotions? Are they going to be avoidant with their emotions? Are they going to want to communicate when you guys are going through a hard time? I know some people don't want to talk about things and they just want to throw it under the rug, and then the next couple of days they just act like nothing happened. So you kind of want to have an understanding of that. I know that I'm someone, when I get really heated, I definitely sometimes want to take a beat, take a moment. I don't like getting so upset and that we're arguing at each other. I want to get to a place where we can respond and not react. That's one thing my therapist always told me. You always want to be in a place where you respond and don't react, because when we react to things, our emotions are heightened and we usually say things we don't mean, or we say things that we may not regret, or we just don't have a clear mind to actually get our point across. So for me, I want to tell my partner at this stage that I definitely sometimes would need to take a beat, that I would want to collect my thoughts, but I definitely would want to talk it through. I definitely don't want to avoid it. I definitely want to make sure that we come to some resolution, but I may need some time. And I feel like this is a good way to know if you are compatible, because if you are someone that wants to talk it through and there's somebody that's avoidant, when you guys have issues, it's always going to be this cat and mouse where like they run and then you want to talk about it and you guys get in a bigger argument and then you feel like it's not addressed and they may just want to sweep it under the rug. Like, I feel like you really need to know how they're going to move in those moments, because I feel like those are the reasons that people usually break up. And I feel like at the end of the day, I get that conflicts happen, but arguing all the time shouldn't be your norm. I feel like you guys should find a way to be able to communicate and resolve things in a manner that's very mature, in a manner that helps you guys move forward, and not in an avoidant or angry way. Because I know for me, I want peace. When I'm dating somebody, when I'm connected with somebody, even with friends, like if we are having a disagreement, let's pause, let's take a beat, let's come back to this, let's agree to disagree, but let's like make sure that we are not letting it escalate to the point that we're screaming at each other, or to the point that you want to run off and you don't want to talk about it. I feel like we should be able to also communicate that I need a beat. Don't just run away. I feel like we should be able to communicate those things to our partners so that they understand where we're coming from, because at the end of the day, we all have different communication styles. We all have different ways that we regulate our emotions. We all have different ways that we handle conflict. And you have to see if there's alignment there for you to truly see if you're compatible. Because you can like somebody all day, you can think they're the cutest person, you can think everything's amazing, but if you guys cannot come to an agreement of how you solve conflict, then there's no way that your relationship will survive, or you guys will just have a toxic relationship and that will just be your norm. So the next time you're on a date, try this question. Notice how they answer, but also notice how you feel about the way they answer. Do you feel seen? Do you feel sold to? Do you feel like there's some foolery going on there? Drop in the comments below what questions you will ask first. And if this has helped you check your own dating habits, then be sure to share this with somebody else who needs it. As someone who's going through his own dating struggles and is trying to find the best way to connect when he's on a date and find out all the information to make the right decision about my next partner, I will be utilizing these questions too, and trust me, we are all in this together. I'm Jay Theo, and if you like this content, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, drop a comment, and as always, do your best to stay safe, stay positive, and I will see you guys on the next video.